PingSunday has the special permission of Coach Chen Kangning. Please don't upload the video without the permission of Coach Chen and PingSunday.
How do you incorporate fun into the process? I went out to the club before to coach and train, and I found a problem. Coach Chen, the more I practice, the more I understand what to practice. It's just this kid. He knows nothing about table tennis. What he can learn, it's just one or two things. I can't possibly spend just feeding him forehand attacks. What should I do? He starts doubting himself, asking, what am I doing here? The teacher may find the time hard to endure. Why is that? Because he finds it too boring. Yes, boring. The next day his mom says, play some ball. He says, please, as long as I don't have to play ball. But how do you incorporate fun into the process, while also ensuring that he truly learns something? It may be enjoyable, but if he hasn't learned anything, what's the use? But in the end, he finds it really boring, and he's not willing to learn anymore. Is this the head of the racket, right? Isn't it easy to lose control? It's just at the end, do you see if you've noticed? His arm is no longer in line with yours. But with the back of the hand, look. The head of the racket comes out in a straight line, right? It shows that the head of the racket is also being driven. But there is no loss of control. Isn't it difficult to control? Because the wrist is too active. So don't actively involve the wrist. Think about bringing the back of the hand in the middle. Think of it as the rubber on the backhand. This way your thumb brings the back of the hand to the ball. When you exert force outward, your racket head also goes out. Your wrist is also being used. But none of them lose control. Isn't the feeling on the back of the hand here? He receives the serve with his left hand. Is it the same principle to receive with the left hand after the right hand? Awkward smile. This is a side spin. Then you push with the bottom. You see where he is pushing. Chasing shot position, right? Chasing shot position with the right hand. Once this move is made, if you serve with your right hand, you see once this move is made, you will probably protect yourself. Forehand shot. You think he will definitely push me to the forehand corner, his shot is right? Counterintuitive. It feels especially awkward to push. Why is it less awkward to push here than here? This is the most awkward point, right? Okay, then reverse. He serves to my right hand and I receive with my left hand. Can I also play like that? You can counterattack him too, right? Same principle. He just leaned because he knew I would receive like this. When he doesn't know, once I make this move, does he need to quickly move to the center to protect? Why is he looking at his forehand? He saw me push. Isn't the position awkward at that time? Using the forehand to deal with it seems unrealistic to me. Why is he already gone? Once this move is made, you should run towards the forehand. Yes, then squeeze in for a chasing shot. So you see, this is reverse thinking. I think it's time for a follow-up attack. The opponent's defense on both sides is impenetrable. Got pulled in with a forehand chop. At this point, you should be thinking about a follow-up attack. Maybe the opponent's serving has also figured you out. Once he realizes it, this guy is getting locked down on both sides by me. At this point, he might try to break through from my follow-up attack. Maybe he is also starting to pay attention to your follow-up attack. He will be guarding against you. Right, so sometimes you need to switch it up. Switch it up first. Strike his attention defense first. When he hesitates, he won't be able to handle wherever you strike next. Instead of what? Hit where the opponent's attention is focused on first, unable to break through. Then hit his attention blind spot or awkward area. Maybe the situation is not a blind spot after all. He has you locked down on both sides as well. He might switch it up. Because I've restricted him, he might switch to a follow-up. Maybe the opponent has already prepared in advance. Right. So you have to use your brains in this game. You have to calculate. I think playing table tennis is about going with the flow, right? Dealing with serves is typically about going with the flow, right? Just like how you watch my posted videos, it's the same. Many enthusiasts. Oh, Coach Chen, you teach really well, but very good. Last time I watched something. What teaching content? I couldn't find it. I said it's broken. I said I have hundreds of instructional videos. I'm not very good at searching through either. This kind of fragmented teaching, indeed, can also provide some help to grassroots coaches. Brings some assistance, but I feel the help is limited. So that's why. Later in our conversation, we discussed if we could create such a systematic, targeted towards youth clubs, targeted towards grassroots teaching guide, like a manual, a tool for teaching. In fact, I think using teaching tools to explain is more accurate. It helps these novice coaches. Grassroots coaches have both theoretical support and practical application. Can be followed step by step. Sometimes in our teaching, you don't really know to what extent the child has learned, or the details on the child's hands. How to teach it. This is also why we make courseware. And discussing this matter with Manager Chen and process. To let some novice coach handle it better and get a grip on it. I can't say it's perfect, but at least he has a framework. He knows how to take the next step. This is very important. You serve with side spin. What do you need to look at first with that side spin? The first thing to look at is over there, because you consciously serve with side spin. Serve to their forehand, which is shorter. Because of this diagonal line. If he speeds up, it will be very fast. Very sudden with a large angle, right? If you serve with side spin, if the opponent's normal judgment is accurate, do you think he will chop it? Unless the opponent thinks differently. So, his biggest threat to you is actually this. You need to pay attention to this side first. Watch your forehand closely. Prevent the opponent from picking. And you should be prepared for his faster picks, or be prepared for slower picks. You definitely need to be prepared for his faster picks, right? If he really doesn't pick with quality, I can slightly adjust my power with the secondary reaction. Often, the fast picks are actually using force and power, right? Here comes a good one. You should be ready for this ball first, right? I will hold you back with this. If you handle this ball normally, are you going to serve with side spin again? Then you will be very cautious about that. What are you looking at me for? I haven't told you yet, so right away. Why are you pushing with your backhand? Why are these two balls interfering with each other? Through serving with forehand, suddenly using a backhand push movement, or this kind of rhythm change, using this kind of awkwardness to distract him, making him lose focus, right? Even when making a pushing motion. Because once he pays attention to both sides, the pushing motion comes out. You can move towards his weakness. Catch him off guard.
Read more about table tennis on my blog, PingSunday.com. Get free ebook and coaching advices. See you in the next video.